Hello and welcome back, G-Man in the Studio Lab. Today I've got a special little update for you. As you know, I build all my modules by hand. First it starts out with stuffing these boards with little tiny surface mount components. I will use a stencil to put over here and set the solder paste on here in the right places, and then I use these little tweezers and I place the components on these boards in exactly the right spot. And that's been fun for 5 years. I've been doing this for 5 years. So I have made literally thousands of these tiny little boards with these little tiny tweezers. And then I'll do all the final assembly by hand also, putting the hardware on there, putting the panels on top. And that's been my process. Well, I have felt like I needed some help doing this for a change. Enter this, my new pick and place machine. This will help me build these boards, and hopefully the real hope was to build them faster, but not to have to do it all by hand anymore. So I would still paste up these boards by hand, put the solder paste on there using a stencil, and then I'll just put it in this machine. Turn it on, and this head moves around on the gantry, and it goes around and it picks up the parts, and it looks at it with the camera, and it makes any tiny little adjustments in rotation, and then it plops it down on the board. So 2 pickup nozzles and a nozzle changer as well. These bigger ICs require a different size nozzle, so it'll change out the nozzle by itself. It'll pick up the ICs as well and put those on the board. Shipped it in last Wednesday. And what I've been showing you over here, these 101 VCOs, these represents my first run of those. And just know that nothing's really gonna change from a quality control standpoint. I will still visually inspect every single board, and then these once they get put on the board with the solder paste, they go into an oven, and I look at every single one real closely before that. It's easier to fix any little mistakes before you put them in the oven and melt the solder and fix these to the board. And then, as you know, after I fully assemble these boards, they get fully tested, and in the case of this VCO, I will calibrate the tuning for these as well. So far, my other hope was that I'd be able to knock out more boards per year and increase my production. And so far, I can tell that's going to be a challenge. I have to kind of sit here and watch it and make sure it doesn't get hung up on anything. And when it does, I've got to be there to resolve it. I look forward to having a lot of fun with this process. It's got these screens on here that help you navigate what the machine is doing, and it shows you pictures of the process. But over the long run, I think the machine will pay for itself, especially if I'm able to increase the production of the number of modules I make per year. So that's what's going on around here. I've been researching these pick and place machines, studying all the nuances of every different model, and I had to make a lot of choices before I finally settled on choosing this particular machine, mainly because I didn't really want to get into any DIY coding of the software or 3D printing of any custom parts. I don't do any 3D printing. I just don't have time for this stuff. I really don't. I'm just working on modules. I'm working on some new designs. I'm doing books. This is tax season, so I got to get on my taxes. That's what's going on around here. Been a long time coming, and it's actually quite necessary now. I'm wearing out my eyes and my little eye-hand coordination with this little tweezers. I just can't cope with them. on a daily basis for hours and hours anymore. So, well, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.